Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of High Risk Podcast. Guys, I'm excited. This is pretty cool. This is my first time doing the live video stuff with you guys. Last week I took the week off to your guys' dismay. And
surprisingly, Noah and I handled ourselves.
No, you guys did great. So as always, guys, I'm Matt Sharp, Noah Sharp, and Scott Colley. Bringing you this week in WWE, and I guess we'll talk about a little bit of New Japan action as well.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, be sure to go to our YouTube, High Risk Podcast, and Scott and Noah had this awesome talk about the 6.25 star rating match that occurred between, Noah, say the names.
Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega.
I can say that.
And that is why we have Noah. He is our Japanese specialist as far as the names go, and Scott is quickly learning, it sounds like. So
yes, now I'm working on the Canadian names. Kenny Omega is the first one on the list. So.
Okay, that's a good one to start with. So guys, there was a lot of build up to Money in the Bank, and I want to talk about that first. Scott, you were there. You did the live tweet from the event, hashtag Scott Takeover. You took over our Twitter page for the day. And so tell us.
Tweeting I've done in my many years of being on Twitter. So.
If you guys go and follow Scott on Twitter, he doesn't tweet. He just does a lot of browsing. No, but guys, Scott, tell me, what was that like, man? Because I've been a fan of wrestling my whole life, and you went to pay-per-view before I had, so.
It was really exciting. I mean, we went to Raw once last year, but it's just different because it's a pay-per-view, so it was just a little bit different atmosphere.
Did you remember to take the tickets?
Yes, I did. I printed them off about 10 minutes before I left my apartment to go to St. Louis.
Oh, God. Right on.
No, I made sure I held on to those tickets pretty closely this time. I didn't forget them. And
your niece and nephew went, right?
Yeah, it was me, my niece and nephew, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law's brother, who's 17. So he went with us.
Cool. So what was your what is like a takeaway moment from that? Is there a memory that's going to stick with you forever?
I don't know if there's just one necessarily memory. I mean, it was just exciting to go to that pay-per-view, and one thing that really made that pay-per-view better for me was that there's times that you can watch TV or a pay-per-view and the crowd's just not really that into it. But this crowd, I don't know if it was because where I was sitting and it might have been bouncing off the walls, but this crowd seemed like they were really involved in this show. So, like I was telling my sister-in-law, it's like you get what you put into it. So if you want to get invested in it and you're having fun, then that's what it is. But if you're just there just to sit in the chairs and watch, it's like, why even buy a ticket to me? So that was just cool because people around me were really involved and they were really excited and they were all cheering. So it was definitely a good experience. I mean, the pay-per-view as a whole, we'll talk about it. I'm okay with how everything, who the winners were. I'm just not exactly happy with how they got there, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of dusty finishes and shenanigans going on. Well, guys, I guess we can go through our picks and write down the list. Everybody, allow me to introduce to you the reigning, defending, undisputed High Risk Podcast pay-per-view pick champion, Noah Sharp.
Yes, it has been a long time coming. You guys have ripped me off for so long.
The first match what happened was the women's Money in the Bank match, which I was kind of surprised after we were starting.
You know what?
He's not going to let you have your moment.
No, it's Scott.
You have 2 seconds. That's all we need. Continuing on. So I was there, and it was the Hype Bros. They just finished up their match, which Hype Bros came back and won. Zack Ryder's back. Good for him.
Yeah.
Glad he came back. And then, I don't remember if it was right after that, but they dropped down the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, and I was like, oh, wow, we're starting off with this match? Which, I was fine with, because I was really looking forward to that match. I was just a little surprised that they started off with that match.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
I think it makes sense from like a booking aspect. You know, in a show, there's, you know, peaks and valleys and all that. So it's a very good way to get the crowd high up there, start it going, and then it's a good way to end the show high up going with another, you know, Money in the Bank match. But, I mean, obviously, it started off first, but it didn't really give...
And I thought it went shorter than it should have. I think...
There was a lot wrong with that match. There was a lot wrong with it.
Yeah. So I don't think it was a very hot start to the pay-per-view as far as what they were looking for. Obviously, it was pretty short. There weren't any really big high spots to it. Charlotte's moonsault was...
Which wasn't even off, like, it didn't even have to do with a ladder. But, I mean, they had a couple ladder spots that they did. At the same time, I think, since none of these girls have done a ladder match, that they didn't want to do anything over the top. Not when I say over the top, I don't mean they don't want to do anything super crazy, like, you know, jumping off of ladders and doing all sorts of flips and stuff like that.
That's got Vince written all over it, because even the Hell in the Cell match that went on between Charlotte and Sasha Banks, I still wasn't blown away by it. I mean, it's cool that it's, you know, it's the first time the women have done these kinds of matches and stuff, but let the women go in there and put on a show. You know, let them do some of this crazy stuff.
See, the Money in the Bank match is kind of complicated, because it's not just a ladder match, but it's a ladder match with 5 different people in it. So, I mean, a multi-man match in and of itself can be pretty complicated, because you just got a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And then you throw in a ladder on top of that, and then you have, I think, it was probably like, what, a 10-15 minute match?
I'd say it was even less. I would go, I mean, maybe 10 or 12 minutes. It really didn't go long. It felt really short.
That's still a pretty good chunk of time where you've got all these different moving pieces, and considering that not very many of them had that much experience in it, I can kind of... I was a little let down, because there really wasn't one big ladder spot.
Yeah.
That, you know, if Charlotte... You know, I would have been fine if Charlotte would have done her move, like, off a ladder. But,
definitely.
But, I mean, for it being the first women's ladder match like that, it was fine up until that finish.
The finish is probably one thing that we could all agree on was pretty crappy.
And my sister-in-law, who doesn't even watch wrestling, said she didn't like that finish.
Well, yeah, and to me it's like, whoever booked that, and, I mean, Carmella's getting some serious heat for it. Ellsworth is getting some serious heat for it. So
Carmella who's getting the heat. I think all that heat's going to the booking. I don't think it's Carmella. I mean, that promo she had this week, she pulled a little bit of heat towards her, but I think most of that heat is going backstage, and which is not really. I mean, Carmella and Ellsworth are the ones that you're wanting to get the heat on, but I think they got a little bit of heat because they're the ones who were involved. But I think most of that's going backstage.
Well, that's what I'm kind of getting at, is like you put some heat on them, you know, okay, fine and good, but now it's like you have people that look at the writers and everything. We already don't really like them 85% of the time anyway, and now in a women's match, this historic women's match, you have a man, which now there's jokes about how much of a man is Ellsworth really, but you have a man going into a women's match and winning the Money in the Bank for but, and then on SmackDown and everything, they're talking like, well, we've never had it happen where somebody has gone into the ring, got the contract, and handed it to somebody. Okay, but it's not just somebody. This would be a different ballgame entirely if it was Nikki Bella that ran down there and did it, or some other, you know.
The fact it was a man.
The fact that it was a man in a woman's match. That to me right there is like, one, why would you even book that? Why would you even write that? You're going to piss people off. Like, why would you do that? That just makes people look at the company and it makes it look like shit. It just does.
I mean, when he was climbing up the ladder, I mean, we were all we were cheering because we thought, oh, Ellsworth's going to take this big bump from somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he gets the briefcase. We're all like, wait, what just happened? Like, really?
And see, that would have been a good time for Charlotte to run in, do a superplex off the ladder. Tamina, somebody that's got that nice build that can take that big of a bump. Like,
or have Maria Kanellis. At least it would have been better than the segment she came out with.
That would have been a good way for her to come in. That would have been Yep, she'd have got some heat for it.
I don't know what they're doing with those two. They didn't even show up on SmackDown this week, but they came out, and I was like, what am I watching?
They're really good at making you hate their guts. So, I mean, their work over at TNA or Impact, or you want to call it, is really good. So I'm pretty excited.
It doesn't look like she's going to be like a women's competitor. It looks like she's going to be more of a manager to me from that one segment.
Which works for her. Which works for her, I think.
Yeah. Well, I know that she has. I mean, she wrestled in the WWE a little bit, but you can tell her quality wasn't really all that good.
Yeah.
But I know that her time in TNA, she really actually took the time to fine-tune her skills and actually become a women's wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually put time into it.
Time to do something, it makes a difference.
Yeah. So I feel like it'd be a waste of talent to just have someone like that and just keep them onto the side. You know, when you have someone who can work, I feel like you should put them to work into some capacity. Maybe not necessarily always getting wins, but I mean, I just don't want to. I can already see, based off the gimmick already, it's not going to go far. Because I just don't see where, you know, we've got people. Because all I know is that these two people are in love. What else can you really say about them?
That's all you need in life.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't see him going anywhere. As far as if you wanted to include Ellsworth in the finish of the Money in the Bank, I would have rather seen like Carmella be knocked out or something, and then Ellsworth run in, put him on the shoulders, and then climb up. That you still could have included him and still would have got the heat and all that. But.
Well, the fact that she was an able body, she was fine. She took a bump right there. She was fine. She could have, you know, and then he just goes in there and gets. We could talk for an hour about it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm okay with her winning. You know, I'm fine with it. I thought she did her promo on Tuesday.
Yeah, she tore it up.
Yeah. Like, I'm okay with Carmella winning the briefcase. Like I said, I'm not happy how it happened, but the fact Carmella has it, I'm okay with. I thought she did really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay if she wins it next week. You know, I'm fine with that as long as she's the one who actually does it.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of people stepping up to the plate, doing great work, I was really surprised by Lana's match. I felt like for only having, and I can already tell Scott disagrees.
Oh, I thought it was fine.
Oh, wow. We agree.
Yeah.
We agree. No. So, I was really blown away. Number one, by her ring gear. Number two, the girl can wrestle, man. She can sell. She's I wouldn't say she's like the greatest one there, but you know, she's talent that can be used. And right now, SmackDown is the place to be if that's you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
I wasn't happy with that match either.
I mean, I would say all of the finishes to the matches I wasn't a fan of, but the matches were pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty solid. It was a solid show.
Finish, and then who won, I was okay with, but the finishes of the matches were just.
Yeah, I think Lana though has come a long way from just being a manager. Obviously, her time in the Performance Center and doing a couple NXT house shows is really coming through. But I mean, it was a good match. It wasn't smooth, obviously, for being her first pay-per-view match. But you can definitely see that she has a solid foundation and can definitely build upon that at least. And we don't want to just see somebody either like have a Billie Kay premiere or a Eva Marie like happening of sorts where it's just flat, nothing good. You don't think that person even has a chance. But no, Lana did good. I can see her doing pretty well in the women's division if given the right, booking,
So, funny story about Lana is my sister-in-law that went with me, she likes Total Divas too. So, and she watched this past season, and Lana was on it this past season. And all she knows Lana is from Total Divas. So I showed her like the video or the episode clip, whatever you want to call it, of when Lana comes out and starts talking. And I was like, all right, Casey, I want you to know that there's going to be something slightly different about Lana on WWE television compared to Total Divas. And then Lana comes out and she starts talking in a Russian accent. She's like, are you kidding me right now? That is horrible. I hate her now. I was like,
Well, and I almost wish that they would have just had her botch that and just be Lana. Just be, you know, and maybe repackage her. Maybe, I mean, her name now, it has a lot to it. So maybe changing her name wouldn't be the best move.
Oh, no.
But I feel like now, I mean, we always kind of wondered if she was putting on a show for that. Now we know if you watch the show. She's as red, white, and blue as it gets. So that's all that.
In Russia for a few years when she was like a teenager or something.
Yeah.
Or like that, but she's not. I know she's not from.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing about the match, I said something to you guys earlier, was I thought it was disrespectful for Naomi and Lana. The crowd kept chanting, "We want Rusev," and I was like, "Come on, guys, this is
and when
wrong place, wrong time." Like,
when the crowd chanted for so long that they wanted Lana, and Lana's a big thing. Okay, well now the company is listening to you.
They're
giving you what you want. They're putting her in the ring. They've trained her. She's putting on these shows, and you're still not happy.
Would it be so bad if Rusev wouldn't have had a promo? Quite a bit of time ago where he actually said he wanted the belt. Yeah. I mean, he said he wanted a title shot, you know.
From what I understand is Rusev was supposed to be in Ginger's spot, but now that they wanted to do the whole India thing, so then Ginger's now. So that's how I understand what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you had the tag team match. That was kind of as like.
Yeah.
Usos lost because of count outs. They didn't want to get back in the ring. So, like I said, didn't like the finish. I'm okay with the Usos keeping the belts.
I will say this. I'm not going to let this go.
Okay.
So me and Scott, for everybody that's watching, we picked the New Day to win. And Noah was the odd man out, picking the Usos. And so when the Usos walked out with the belt, at first I was like, okay, took another L. And Noah was like, oh yeah. And I was like, whoa, wait. I was like, wait. You didn't say that they would retain. You said they would win, and so they lost.
You need to clarify. Are you saying who gets the belt or who's winning the match?
Yeah. So well, I looked at him. I was like, no. You said win. You didn't say retain. Yeah. You said win. So
at the end of it all, doesn't matter. I still won. So it is what it is.
I think that was the only match I actually got right.
So, yeah, it was a bad night for me too. We had basically the same pick, so we were just.
When you have multi-man matches, it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Lucky.
Yeah, well, when we have multiple multi-man matches, it throws it in the air quite a bit.
All right. Yeah. Well, then you had Jinder Randy.
Yeah.
Pretty good match, huh?
That's all right. It was fine. It was a match.
So what was that like for you getting to see?
I got to see it's a pose. I was like, yeah.
I envy you because I've been a fan of AJ Styles for so long, and you got to. So for me to see him wrestle would be great for me, and so for you, you kind of got to see your hero of sorts. So.
Well, yeah, and then Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton. Once again, discussed it before. Singh brothers pretty much gave him the win. I'm not continuing that debate.
It's just a part of Jinder and who he is, and it's all a part of what makes him just so gosh darn great. So
the next match is
this guy. I'm gonna have to cut another promo on him and just completely rip him apart again. Wow. Okay.
Because I'm gonna go off on another tangent on Jinder. We ain't got time for that.
All right, fair and square. All right.
So, we talked about the Maria Mike Bennett segment.
Yep.
I mean, they can't. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I wasn't super thrilled with it.
Yeah, I don't like people like to see him, but as far as the segment itself, they didn't care.
Yeah. Then you had the Breezango versus the Mystery Attackers, which turned out to be the Ascension, which I felt bad because that turned into the popcorn match, and I was leaving. But I'm like, I thought people were liking Breezango. So I thought people were going to stick around for that match, and a lot of people were going to the bathroom, going to get food during that match. So I was like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, people like Breezango, but just the match had no weight to it. I mean, oh man, the Mystery Attackers of their office, the Ascension
Which I called it. Ask no one.
Yeah. I mean, if the Ascension were more of a threat than they are now, it would have probably been better.
Match, less than a 5-minute match, and then they won via roll up, I believe.
Yeah.
So my thing is, like, what does that do for the Ascension? Like, as if they weren't buried already. You just got beaten by the Fashion Police. Like,
I thought that they would take the win because Fashion Police have been on this great run. So I feel like they could probably eat one and still be fine, and then it would just help the Ascension get to where they need to be. But I'm not the one that's booking the matches. So
yeah.
So going on to our main events, outside of Randy Orton and AJ Styles and my girl Maddie coming out, the biggest pop I had of the night was when Shinsuke Nakamura got laid out by Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my god!
Highlight of my night.
Whoa, hang on.
Highlight of my night.
You even who did you say again?
Did I say Dolph Ziggler? I meant Baron Corbin.
Yeah, yeah, pretty excited, huh? Yeah.
I was. Baron Corbin laid him out. My bad. I also did say last week that my head said Baron Corbin, Noah. I want you to remember that. My head said Baron Corbin, but I was wearing an AJ shirt, so I had to go with AJ.
You know, it's just, we had mentioned this, that, we've been wrestling fans for quite a long time. But we've been AJ Styles fans for even longer.
That's true.
Okay. And you're just there wearing his shirt. You're saying the things he says in your promos. You're really throwing people for a bit of a loop there, Scott. Like, nobody really knows what side you're on. You're just
what do you mean?
all over.
You don't know what side. I'm an AJ fan. I don't know what more.
Okay.
All right. It took a while for you to get there, but okay. Welcome to the AJ Styles fan club. But aside from the intros, Shinsuke getting busted up at the beginning, which I feel like was a safe move, just because I kind of had a feeling like Shinsuke wasn't going to be a big part of this match, just because we don't know what the extent of his ladder match history is. As far as I know, he's never had one. But it was a safe move. It's an option that I was fine with. I didn't like... I'm still sort of torn on whether or not I like that he actually came back in later on in the match. Because
you know it was coming. I was sitting next to my sister-in-law Casey. I was like, all right, give it 10 minutes, we'll be back on the match.
Yeah, but as I said, I'm still torn on whether or not if I actually liked it or not, just because it reminds me of Roman Reigns in the Rumble, was it in the 2016 Rumble? Or what? Maybe it was the 2015 Rumble or whatever. He got laid out and then came in like when the last 5 people were in the match, and then
it works when people actually like the person coming back in the match.
Yeah, I don't know. I still would have rather him be laid out towards for the entirety of the match, I guess, just to keep consistent or whatever. But if that would have happened, no, I kept an open mind. I didn't really think too much. If I would have been there, being the fan that I am of him and saw that, I would have been disappointed. But,
it was hilarious because the crowd just went silent. And I'm like, let's go, Barrett!
Oh, that was you. We heard you. Okay. All right.
But,
one guy in the crowd who was happy that happened.
But no, the benefit of Shinsuke coming back in is that we got the awesome moment with Shinsuke and AJ having their stare down. And for the fans of Shinsuke who know what his quality of work is, who knows his history, just in wrestling in general, who know what kind of asset he is to the company, it's great to see, because the last match that at least Shinsuke had was against AJ and in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So now it's kind of like, well, maybe we're just planting the seeds for. They're both obviously good guys, and they're always going to be over. But it's just great to see that. I don't know if that was just something that Vince wanted, that creative wanted, booking wanted, or if it was just something that was done on the spot between the two. I felt like it had to happen, and the crowd definitely recepted well to it. So that is just something that I personally loved and was really excited for, and I was marking out for it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this guy. Oh man.
Would you rather me not say anything or just be super negative? I'll let you take your pick.
Man, you know.
It's a hard pick.
Yeah, it is a hard pick.
I love the sound of your voice, Scott. Almost as much as I love the sound of my voice. So I should say.
I'm not saying I didn't like it. I mean, I'm sure those guys have put on a good match. I mean, Shinsuke had, like I said, he is yet to super impress me like the way AJ Styles has. So, like I said, I'm sure they'll put on a good match. I mean,
I think a lot of that too, maybe because he's having to really delude his moveset. But I was kind of the same way when I first saw him wrestle. I was like, okay, I don't get it. But to me, if you go back and watch the NJPW stuff and just see kind of what he can really do, that might warm you up to it. If you haven't gone and watched already, if you've done that, you still don't like him, that's cool.
Yeah.
it's cool.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of great moments in that match. My personal favorite was AJ. Whenever I think wasn't it Baron who pulled the ladder from under him?
Dolph.
It was Dolph. Yeah, and he was literally just hanging up there, and I was like, "This guy."
I thought he was going to climb on top of the case.
Yeah,
he was trying to scale it and stuff.
But
I want to know like how high that was from the case to the mat. Like that
my thing about that is it reminded me of that the Edge Jeff Hardy spot at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it's one thing whenever you have somebody like knocking you off that. It's a completely new thing when you're the one who have to mentally tell yourself, all right, I got to let go in 3, 2, 1. Whereas you got somebody else initiating it, so it's like you're kind of at the other person's mercy. But when you got to do it yourself, I don't know how he does that.
Well, and he's not old, but he's not young.
Yeah.
And so for him to take a bump like that and then show up to TV in the same, or like two days later, that's...
Well, he didn't wrestle on Tuesday, so that's good.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he earned an ice bath, and yeah.
Well, see, after that match, after TV went off air, Kevin Owens was limping back. Like he was hopping on one foot, and I was like, "Oh snap!" Because I knew TV went off air because like the lights were all dark, and the guy was like, "Thank you," and he was like holding on to a ref and hopping back into the back. So I was like, "Oh man." But he was all right because he tweeted out he wrestled Monday night at a house show, and then he turned around and wrestled Tuesday night. So.
Their schedule is so crazy to do that kind of a match, and then 15 hours later go do another match, and then go to TV because Kevin was there.
Yeah,
so that's just that's why he's Kevin Owens. That's why he's Kevin Owens.
So how are you guys feeling about Baron with the briefcase?
I'm fine with it. I am 100% fine with it. I kind of figured it was going to go his way. I think...
I'm not sure if he deserves it since he took him forever to get it off the clip. Because he was messing with it for so long.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this is your moment. Don't waste it." Like he should have been there before the show started, like practicing how to unhook it and stuff. But no, I think it went to a great guy. I love his work as a heel and within the ring. I'm just excited to see what he brings to it with this surprise element that we have now. And we'll talk about more about that when we talk about SmackDown in a bit.
You know what they called him Tuesday night? The ultimate opportunist.
Yeah. I'm sure Edge is a little hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that and I was like, come on, guys, come on.
I mean, if there was a heel to win that match, I feel like Baron was definitely the best one suited for it. I don't think for Kevin it doesn't fit. I mean,
not right now it doesn't. Not with him having the U.S. title.
And
I do like how they went back to the U.S. title feud though with AJ and Kevin Owens. So I'm wondering if that's going to be one of the big SummerSlam matches. I hope so because that match is going to be.
If done right, I mean, they had a match before, wasn't it? At Backlash.
Yeah,
and they ended by count out.
It was going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, just for that, it was a little underwhelming. But I feel like with the SummerSlam stage, they're gonna have no choice but to put on a really awesome match. I mean, he has to at least live up to his match against Cena. So, I mean, I don't know if it'll be better than that, but he at least has to put in the work to be, to try and be better than what that was.
How do you guys feel about, since you said his name, free agent John Cena?
I think it's a good way to hike the ratings for both shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're doing it.
My thing is, I don't know, is Cena as much of a draw as we think he is? For me,
yes, ratings prove that he is a huge draw. 100% yes. Like,
interesting.
Listening to Dave Meltzer, I don't remember exactly what percentage, but ratings definitely boost quite a bit when they say John Cena will be on the show.
I mean, maybe
he's a serious draw.
Maybe it's just because I'm so used to it and I've been watching for a while, but it takes a lot for me to get excited about John Cena. So I feel like maybe it is the crowds, like the legit fans and the casual fans who watch are actually getting excited. Or maybe he's pulling in another set of fans from people who just know him from some of the movies he's done, the appearances, the memes and stuff. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just not seeing.
Well, yeah. I'm sure there's probably people that are John Cena fans that just love the guy. I mean, there's people that probably love The Rock but have never seen him wrestle.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
To me, it's
you say John Cena. So, like I said, my sister-in-law doesn't watch wrestling very much. So when we were there, I was kind of telling her some of the stuff, and I said, more than likely, or I don't remember what I said, most of John Cena's fan bases are just kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we walk a few feet, we get into the stadium. What's the first thing we see? Some guy my age wearing a John Cena shirt. I was like, come on, man, you're not helping my case.
Yeah.
And then,
well, no, that's true, though.
And then Roman Reigns, similar situation, kids and women love Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Who do I not say? I'm not saying older males are people who do not like John Cena and do not like Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So. And then there's those that we just love to hate him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we can move in to some of the action this week. Any final thoughts on Money in the Bank before we keep the train rolling?
Ric Flair was there. I was in the same building as Ric Flair.
And Bob Orton and the guy, the Claw.
That guy, man.
You were there.
Sergeant Slaughter was there. I didn't know he was from St. Louis.
Yeah. What was his name? The Axe. What was it? Curtis Axel's grandfather?
Yep.
Yeah, he was there, so that's awesome.
Huh. Yeah, another thing was funny. I keep saying my sister-in-law because she had no idea what she was getting into. And we walk in there and people are doing there's a whole bunch of people doing Ric Flair woos or Charlotte Flair woos, however you want to call it now. And
we're gonna call it Ric Flair woo.
Yeah.
I didn't want to isolate anybody.
I appreciate you looking out for both fan bases. We're only going to focus on Ric Flair fan base today.
So a lot of people doing the Flair woo, and she's like, "What are they doing? That is going to be super annoying." I was like, "You better get used to it, lady. It's going to happen a lot."
Yep. No, that's cool. It sounds like you had a great time, and you picked a good show to go to. All of the matches were good. Like we said, the finishes were. There's definitely things that we would do different about the way some of the matches went down towards the end of them. But all in all, pretty good show.
I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was secretly hoping Daniel Bryan was going to come out after that women's Money in the Bank match. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I was just really hoping for it, and it didn't happen. And I was like,
we can't blame you for hoping. We can't. All right, guys, before we get into Raw, I just want to say thank you to the people that are watching the podcast and that have been supporting us so far. We're definitely trying to grow as we go, as we always say. And part of that is you can see that me and Noah are on the smaller part of your screen here. We're going to get it so we're sharing the screen space there. Just bear with me. Just bear with me.
I think they'd rather look at me personally.
You're probably right. To hell with it. We'll just keep it that way. No, but we're working out the kinks as we go, trying new stuff. You see, if you follow us on Twitter, High Risk Podcast, on Facebook, High Risk, and right here on YouTube, High Risk Podcast, you see that we finally got our logo done. A shout out to my friend Michael Brandt with Brandt FX down there in Branson, Missouri. He's the one that put that together for us. Definitely go to his Facebook page and check him out. He does some great cosplay and things like that. So if you're into wrestling and superheroes, then he's where you want to go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So Raw, not a bad Raw. 3 hours is going to feel like 3 hours all day long. It doesn't matter. It's always going to feel like a long show. Something was different about this show. We saw talent getting used, which usually wouldn't happen on Raw. We have, and I'll touch on this for just a minute, we have Bo Dallas, who went out there and whipped some ass on Finn Balor. It was just an aggressive Bo Dallas. He's got the beard. He's wearing darker colors. He really shocked me. He went out to the ring, did work, put a beating on him, ended up losing, which is fine because it's Finn.
You know, I saw a picture of him, and it said Bo Dallas. I was like, that was Bo Dallas? I didn't look anything like Bo Dallas.
He tore it up, man. Like he blew me away because he's just ruthless and aggressive and ruthless aggression. Oh my gosh. So yeah, he did great work, and then him and looks like let me have my moments. Him and Curtis Axel are going to be pairing up with the Miz, is what it's looking like, which is great. You can hate it, that's fine, but and I don't know if I'd like it right now, but I like the fact that these are two guys that we haven't seen anything of really seriously since the, what was that? Social Outcast. So to me, it's just cool to see Raw do something that SmackDown's been doing, that's using people that we haven't been seeing for a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, good thing they're getting TV time, but to me, it's a downgrade from Miz because him and Maurice were quite the act, and I feel like with these two instead of Maurice, because this is him and Maurice like having problems now.
Well,
yeah, they're starting to fall apart.
I think it's leading towards a breakup of sorts.
Yeah, they're starting to fall apart.
I think it's a downgrade from Miz. I think him and Maurice were quite the act. I don't think that they were
like in kayfabe or out of kayfabe.
No, in kayfabe, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
happily married.
She's off the market forever.
Jeez, tune into Total Divas once in a while. Jeez.
Oh no, so I mean, I listened to Meltzer, or it wasn't specifically Wrestling Observer, but it was something else that Meltzer was on, and they were talking about at Money in the Bank with the Maria and Mike Kanellis segment. They're like, you know, or at least, oh God, what's his name? I just blanked on his name. Dave Meltzer. Yes, at least he thinks that they're going to split Miz and Maurice up just because now it'll be Mike and Maria being the, you know, the couple hotspot, you know, so, which I think you can be fine with both. I doubt people would really care too much.
They're on two different shows, so I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a good run, though. It's been a decent run. I'm a big fan of, like, what they started up at Mania last year? Not this past one, but the one before.
Night after Mania.
Yeah.
Because Zack Ryder won the IC title and the next night.
So we've had this for a year and a little bit longer. So, I mean, you got to be changing. And I feel like they'll probably still use her to some degree. I would hope. I know that they like being together more and traveling and stuff from what I've seen on Total Divas. But you're not the only one, Scott. You're not the only one. I like to get my reality TV drama too. As if there's not enough drama here. Oh my gosh.
No, you're just not a diehard fan like I am.
You're right. I do not have the show's name tattooed on my lower back like you.
That's a little much. But...
The people have to know, Scott. The people have to know. Okay, we could talk a lot about that. I'm going to hit a couple points, and then there's a few things I really want to dive into. Since it is a 3-hour show, there's a lot to cover. One, I love what Goldust is doing. The little kid in me that was around for these Shattered Dreams productions back in the day, I'm loving it. I'm loving what he's saying. I'm loving the gimmick. I'm glad that they kind of broke away from the modern Gold Dusty Dust guy.
Yeah.
And so now we're getting back to the creepy, weird, flamboyant, sexual, out of this galaxy craziness that is Goldust. I think it's awesome. Mm-hmm. I don't like that R-Truth is also doing a movie gimmick. I think he just needs to be R-Truth and not stoop to that. You know, but let that gimmick be gold dust. And creative, you need to figure something different out for our truth.
Yeah.
And I would argue that our truth is his own, like, he doesn't need like this movie segment thing. He is his own guy.
Yeah.
So just let our truth do his thing and talk. The Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins feud, I can take it or leave it.
What happened to Bray and Finn? I'm a little upset.
That's what I'm saying. That's
never went anywhere.
And that's why I feel like I could take this or leave it.
An argument about it, and apparently no one ended up winning that argument now because we're not getting Seth and Bray.
Yeah. No, so there's I don't know. I could take it or leave it. I'd probably rather leave it and see something different, but it is what it is. Okay, the few things I want to touch on. It looks like Samoa Joe and the guy that's running the yard now, Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. So my theory is that...
Wait, what did you say? You said who?
At SummerSlam. Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. Roman Reigns started out the night, and okay, you guys know, especially those of you that have listened from here now, we hate Roman. We hate him. I hate him. I cannot stand him. I loved Roman because he's embodying this heel persona. Creative. It seems like they're going the right way with it. He went out there. He's this cocky guy that can demand any match because he's the one that runs the yard, and talked about retiring Taker and nobody can beat him one-on-one. So it was just a really great heel asshole thing to do, and I loved it. I ate it up. So if Roman keeps going this way, I'm still not going to be impressed with his talent in the ring, which is fine. But I'm a fan of Roman heel, as I'll call him, Roman heel.
Yeah, I think everybody is a little bit. I didn't get to see the segment live, but rewatching it back through like social media and all that, really solid. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
they gave you a reason to boo him.
Yeah, I feel like it's at least based off this one promo here. Roman is a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is now definitive. Now, of course, now, of course, in a week, it'll probably change because that's how Vince's mindset works. But I hope that it just sticks.
I think we've been seeing this though. I feel like when Roman came out the night after Mania, and people wouldn't even let him get the mic to his mouth.
Yeah,
and all he said was, "This is my yard now," or whatever. It was like a 2 or 3 word thing,
really all it was.
And then he got out of there. I feel like we've seen shades of it. They definitely, up to this point, haven't really ran with it. But I feel, and again, Vince could always Vince it up and decide that he wants Roman to be the face, and it's never going to change.
Yeah.
And there's about a 95% of that, going down. I just like the direction that he's going in now, and I feel like they know that this is what's right.
It took him this long?
Real quick, because you made a statement earlier that you said it is going to be Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe at SummerSlam.
Yes, sir.
And I believe what Roman said was that he was going to be taking on the Universal Champion at SummerSlam. Did I hear that correctly?
I had told Noah.
So what you are telling me is that you believe Samoa Joe is going to beat Brock Lesnar in his first title defense at the pay-per-view that shall not be named.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you, because they want Roman in the title picture so bad. That is what they want. They're going to do it at SummerSlam. Arguably, granted, the past few years have been crap. One of the biggest Big Fours of all time. You're not going to have Roman. Why would you have Roman go up against the guy that's the #1 contender if he's not going to... Well, why? So to me...
He needed somebody to work on Monday night, and right now Samoa Joe's your #1 guy on Raw because Brock Lesnar doesn't show up every week.
I know, I'm telling you. Brock drops it to Joe.
Not a chance.
Brock has had it...
type of pill right now.
No, it's what makes sense. It's what makes sense.
Well,
you have it on...
Oh, my God.
You have it on a guy that we haven't seen...
one weekend... All of a sudden, you just start talking crazy.
Okay. Hear me out. what if we could get both? I mean, it's still early to call for predictions, obviously, but dusty finish for for Joe v. Lesnar, and then Roman gets.
Oh, it's not going to be dusty. There's going to be nothing dusty about it. It's going to be clean. It's going to be a tap out. It's going to be clean. Listen to me.
It's not tap out to anybody.
Unless it's Samoa Joe, because he's not wrestled Samoa Joe. No, because look.
Honestly believe what you're saying right now.
They want Roman to have the title, so what's the only way? And you're not going to have him wrestle at SummerSlam just in a one-off match. That's not what they want for him. So to me, it's like they're going to drop it from Brock. They're going to drop it from Brock, make Joe look big. Roman is going to get it from Joe, which is going to make Roman look like the mega guy that they want him to be. I'm telling you, the writing is on the wall.
What's Brock going to do at SummerSlam?
Not going to be there.
You are crazy.
This is weird. I don't know who to side on, who to be against. This is weird.
If he's there, it's not going to be with the title. He doesn't need a title picture at all. It's just
what if we get Lesnar v. Orton too?
It'll be something stupid. I'm telling you.
That's dumber than Matt saying that it's gonna be Roman versus Joe.
What? Now, oh my gosh!
You deserve every bit of the promo we cut on you today. Yeah. You deserve it.
Yeah. Why would you do Brock versus Randy 2 when the first one was horrible and nobody liked it?
The only reason why it was horrible was just because of the ending 1, and then 2, whenever Orton would actually try to change the tides of the match, Lesnar would forcibly end that and go for another suplex. If you watch it back, anytime Orton went for a kick in the corner, Lesnar would just no-sell it and go straight for a shoulder tackle into the corner. So if you go back and watch that match, Randy, for the most part, has no say in trying to call that match, trying to set up a spot or anything. The only spot
that match was meant to have Brock destroy Randy, which is a waste of a Randy Orton match.
Exactly. So do it again, but do it right.
Oh
my God. Your sharp foundation must have some.
So
where you have.
So you think Brock retains? And what does he do at SummerSlam?
Roman Reigns.
But they would have announced it. That's not the match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, they would have announced it. He's got to retain for.
That is not the match at SummerSlam. That is not the match at SummerSlam. On Raw, he went out there and they said before the show started he's going to make an announcement for SummerSlam. Joe's the one that answered the call. It's going to be Joe and Roman. So the only way that makes sense is to have Joe have the title and drop it to Roman. Watch what I tell you, Scott. Watch what I tell you.
Oh my gosh.
So you're telling me Brock Lesnar, who does not lose to anybody outside of Goldberg for video game sales, that he is going to drop the title to a Samoa Joe who has not hardly been on the main roster, maybe 6 months now?
Yep.
In his
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not. Hey, would you be quiet? Let me finish.
Oh boy.
He's going to drop it to Samoa Joe at a pay-per-view that I really hate to say, Great Balls of Fire. So that Samoa Joe will then take the title into SummerSlam to main event SummerSlam with Roman Reigns.
Yes, sir.
And let me guess, you're going to say Samoa Joe retains against Roman.
No, I'm saying Roman gets it from Joe.
That's the most sensible thing you've said in the past 10 minutes.
I've said that for 10 minutes. I'm saying they're going to drop it. Roman's going to get it from Joe. They're going to make Joe look like this big old guy because he beat Brock.
So you're telling me Joe's going to look bigger than Brock Lesnar already does?
I think that is good long-term booking. Because whenever Brock puts the boots up, Joe could fill that spot.
Yeah.
But, I think regardless now, Joe has gotten a monster push in being the guy who's not afraid of Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Someone who will look him in the eye and say, I do not care what it is you will do to me. Now, in regards to Roman in that, he's sort of in a similar spot. He, at WrestleMania 31, I couldn't really tell if, like, at least from, like, booking and Vince, of course, he doesn't want Roman to be afraid of big bad Brock Lobster. But, I mean, I just think that with the monster push that Joe has gotten, it is a possibility, not set in, there is a chance that Joe could, usurp the throne that Brock is sitting on a little bit.
You can't say it doesn't make sense, because it makes sense.
Can I talk now? Is it my turn?
You just had it. Oh my gosh, this guy.
It's your turn.
This guy.
It's your turn.
So, Samoa Joe. All right, so let's back up here. The main event at Extreme Rules was that Fatal 5-Way for #1 contendership, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So before that, Braun Strowman was the biggest man on the Raw roster. Is there before he got injured, would you disagree with that statement?
I wouldn't disagree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, from everything I understand, is going into the next Raw pay-per-view, Braun Strowman was supposed to be that guy that's supposed to take on Brock Lesnar, who was then ultimately going to lose to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is then going to go into SummerSlam. I don't know, maybe take on Joe at SummerSlam. I don't know. But you're telling me now that this Plan B is going to beat Brock when Plan A was going to lose to Brock.
Things change this business all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It changes all the time. So I think, and this is what I love, because it's causing this friction, and that's what I love about it, is because it could go either way. I can see.
It is 95% chance Brock Lesnar wins. There's always a chance that the other guy's going to win, but it's 95% chance Brock Lesnar wins in that match.
You have to look at the. You have to look at the.
Joe, outside of AJ Styles, is the face of TNA, and he's going to go up against WWE's face outside of John Cena and beat him.
Look at the way they've been building him, though. That's what you have to focus on.
It's actually believable when he goes and takes on Brock, because otherwise
we will find out. We will find out July 9th. We will find out July 9th.
Oh boy,
we will find out July 9th. I'm glad you brought up Strowman, because Strowman did come out and he issued a challenge to Roman Reigns of Great Balls of Fire for an ambulance match. So I think that will be. I would like for that to be the end of it. I would like to see different directions, and if they go into the whole.
It's going to be the end of it, because going into SummerSlam, Roman's got the main event already. It is the end of it. Whoever wins this match is the winner of that.
Okay.
Now you're on top of it, Scott.
let's say Braun wins the ambulance match and kayfabe injures Roman. Now we've got, Roman obviously is not going to wrestle SummerSlam. So what if we got, maybe if should such a thing happen, Joe beating Lesnar doesn't sound like such a crazy thing, but that Roman getting kayfabe injured is a crazy book right there in of itself.
I'm going to say, you guys have a better chance of your out of nowhere Samoa Joe win than you have of Roman Reigns missing SummerSlam. I will give you that much, because I think that's even more ridiculous than Samoa Joe, which is already on another level of ridiculous.
Well, as Matt said, July 9th rolls around. We're going to have some interesting picks. That's for sure. Whenever the bracket gets set up, it'll be interesting to see where the cards lay.
2 weeks away? 3 weeks away?
Something like that. We're getting pretty close, yeah.
We'll find out. It's going to be great.
I just don't...
Well, now that
has officially left me speechless.
Now that we've gotten Scott hot, I just want to take the time before we jump into the SmackDown. Again, check us out on our social media: Facebook, High Risk; Twitter @High Risk Podcast, and right here on YouTube, High Risk Podcast. Guys, I was really impressed with SmackDown this week too. I like that we're going to kind of rehash this women's Money in the Bank thing. Scott, What do you think?
I think the only thing worth noting is Daniel Bryan came back.
That's a pretty big thing to note, yeah. One of my least favorite things about SmackDown, though, even though it was a great show, was that it took, like, for me, it shouldn't have taken
time. I missed. This is on me, guys. It is 100% my fault, and I know people that are watching are gonna. So I'm sorry, guys. Enzo and Cass disband. A big Raw announcement. I can't believe I missed that. My apologies. Skimmed through my notes too quick.
Yeah.
And Enzo shed a little tear. And it was beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Yeah. I don't like how it took Daniel so long to make up his mind about, the Money in the Bank situation. I feel like all the women pretty much said the exact same thing, but in a different way. That we deserve it. It shouldn't have ended that way. Yeah, we got that. For me, it should have started out hot. Daniel goes out there. I feel like Carmella should have had her segment because it was really good. And then Daniel will go out and interrupt that and be like, you know what? Nah, you don't really deserve it. We're gonna, restart the match. But, yeah, no, aside from that, it was great. Daniel being back is awesome just because, I don't recall seeing Shane too much either whenever Daniel was away.
Shane was on quite a bit.
Well, then I just didn't notice him, I guess, or didn't
he was on
take too much away.
Almost every week of Talking Smack, so that meant that he had to have been on.
Oh, well.
That would be why we wouldn't know.
Yeah, we don't watch Talking Smack.
We did watch the one right after the pay-per-view.
We did.
We did that for you. We watched it. We missed the other day.
That wasn't even the best one of the week.
But we caught one, Scott. We caught one.
Yeah.
That's not good enough, okay? It's not good enough.
It's going to take a week for you to get over my Great Balls of Fire thing.
I'm not going to get over it until this pay-per-view is over with.
Man, okay.
Next on the chopping block for SmackDown.
See, the worst part about it is now I'm really, thinking about this match and trying to figure out what's going to happen. I think that's the worst thing that's happened.
We got you thinking, man. We got you on your toes right now, so...
Anyway.
Yeah, going on.
I felt like they did fine, because that way you reintroduced Daniel Bryan as your general manager, you got all the girls on the show, and then you also had that segment where Daniel Bryan almost dropped James Ellsworth, which would have been...
Well, yeah. So, my thing is, if Daniel would have just made his decision faster, it's probably like a really selfish thing. We would have gotten to see the Money in the Bank rematch in that same night, and I would have rather seen it then instead of having to wait another week, but I understand for, ratings and actually making it a draw. Yeah. I get it. But, selfish little me would have rather seen it in that sitting, whilst I'm here in Warrensburg with my brother. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I would have liked to, but,
Respect.
Yeah, respect, yeah. But, no, it didn't happen, but it just, I don't know, it's not bad, great show, it's just little things that just,
Mm-hmm.
But, I can't remember actually what happened next on SmackDown.
It really wasn't. It was a fine show. There wasn't many things.
There wasn't too many. There was. I know that
Randy Orton wrecked people, so that's always great to see. That's about it.
Big E took on Jimmy Uso, and what?
I guess that's another count out. Worthy.
Hang on. Let's not overlook my man, the new face of America, starting his own Open Challenge, U.S. Open Challenge. And
they missed an opportunity.
He didn't start it. He'd done it before.
Well, he started up again, so
They missed the boat though because they were they opened the issue for anybody from Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Cassius Ohno.
Yeah.
Is from Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, confirmed.
And who did they go for?
Chad Gable.
An American Alpha Jabroni.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One, their mess up was taking AJ out there. Because as soon as AJ went out there, the crowd wanted that. But, I guess in particular, Kevin Owens' fashion, that's kind of what he does. He gives people what he wants, and then sort of shies away from it, which is perfect Kevin Owens. But, that was just a great little segment from my boy.
Yeah. It was an okay SmackDown. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Scott, what did you think of the stunner the RKO from the top rope? Yeah, that looked like good stuff.
It was not his best RKO from the top rope, but it's always great to see an RKO from the top.
Yeah, I don't blame Randy at all. I blame the dude that took it. Like, why would you bring your knees in? Just trust it. I think he freaked out in the air.
I've already seen the greatest RKO of all time, and I don't think there's any way you're going to top it.
Not going to argue with you. Yeah.
And that is at WrestleMania 31.
I just feel like
Seth Rollins finisher at the time, which I'm not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say it. It's we tossed it out to the curb.
Oh boy.
Tossed it.
Okay, we got it. Thank you for that.
No, I think the only one that could possibly beat that one is Randy and Shane in Hell in a Cell. Shane jumps off the Hell in a Cell, and Randy catches him in an RKO through the announce table. But somebody might die. So.
The best one before that, I guess, was Evan Bourne did his airborne, and he reversed that into an RKO.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Yeah, so. Well, anything to say about 205 Live? It's just another week of nothing.
Who's really watching? I was now.
I tried. I checked it out, and guys, it's just a waste of time. And why would you?
I heard that it was a pretty good main event, though. That Neville Rich
Swann.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
From what I hear is that they're solid matches. You just got to get through all the bullshit before you can get to the matches.
And that's kind of hard for me. Given that my tolerance for Raw is already pretty low, and then to have to already in that same week or at least try to take in 205 Live. But I mean, I guess since none of us watched it, we don't really have anything.
Well, no, I mean, I checked out a little bit of it, and I'll give you the Neville and Swan match, but I don't know. You had so much good going with the CWC. And it's just, for me, it's falling apart, and I just don't care about it anymore.
They tried to commercialize it.
Yeah, they would just have to totally repackage the cruiserweight stuff for me. I don't know. All right, NXT.
Actually, real quick, you guys should watch this week's episode of Talking Smack because AJ Styles gives Daniel Bryan some new parent advice.
Yes, I
should go check it out because it's pretty hilarious.
All right.
Okay.
On to NXT. It's pretty good.
Not a bad one. We got to see Miss Ember Moon return to the ring.
Okay.
Guys, as excited as I am to see her back, I'm disappointed that she's out of the title run right now. I mean, I get it. Nikki Cross has got her spot, and Nikki's doing, she's cool.
Yeah.
But gosh, I just hate to see it, and it's not just because I like Ember Moon. It's just a thing. Like, I just hate to see somebody in the title picture. They're out for a short time. She's been out a month, 2 months.
Yeah, it wasn't really too long.
So to me, she worked so hard to get there. A freak thing with her shoulder out for a month or two, and now she's like not quite back at square one, but she's had to step back. So,
but I mean, she's going to be on the right track as soon as she gets done with this Peyton Royce and Billie Kay stuff. Dear God, I hope this doesn't last long. Mm-hmm. It's because the sooner we get through that, and the sooner we get through Nikki Cross and Asuka, the sooner we can get to Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think Nikki Cross is going to be the one to, knock Asuka off her winning streak and to take the belt.
Yeah.
To me, it's just I just don't see it. And even then, after Ember got injured, it's going to take a little bit for me as well to see Ember be the person to take the belt from Asuka. It's because,
would you be happy if they just moved her up to main roster and they vacated the belt and did like a tournament for the belt?
Initially, want her.
That's what they did with Paige when she went up to the main roster, got the Divas Championship, and they wouldn't let her hold both, so they made her vacate the NXT belt, and they had like a tournament for that.
Here's the crazy thing about Asuka and where she's at now in the main roster is that she can't lose. You've backed her into a corner. She can't lose now. And Vince isn't going to like that. I feel like he wants to have that. He wants to have that sort of freedom to book someone to lose if he wants to. But if Asuka goes up to main with the belt,
What are you talking about? If you like somebody, they don't lose. Roman Reigns doesn't lose.
Well, okay. I feel like
Brock Lesnar doesn't lose unless his name's Goldberg.
I feel like
or Roman Reigns.
I feel like Vince just isn't gonna like it because of whatever reason. Because I mean,
how much does Vince care about the women's division? Because it just doesn't.
Hang on. How much does Vince care about NXT? Because with some of the call-ups he's got, he hasn't really done much with them. I mean, there's some that you can argue Finn, obviously, because he is a shoot-up to the title picture whenever he first came in. Mm-hmm. But then you have people like Mojo.
A permanent seat on the hype train. So he just sees big names in NXT and just wants them. So he just plucks them.
Yeah, and that's the problem. But if Asuka goes up, she can't lose at least for like the first 3-4 months that she's there. She doesn't have to win the belt. It'd be interesting to see who she'd feud with at the time. But I think it would mean something like the way it meant for Kevin Owens to be fighting, or at least to try and take on Cena and try to get the US belt with the NXT Championship. That took the NXT belt to all new heights. That was really the first time that the NXT Championship was taken to the glass ceiling and beyond. So
you're just saying that because it's your boy. That's the only reason you're saying.
No. But really though. I mean, Finn did great stuff with it. Nothing to take away from that. But I feel like not to say that Finn and nobody else helped out, but Kevin introduced NXT to casual fans the minute he stepped on to Raw that night. Because people saw, well, one, who's Kevin Owens? Two, what does he have in his hand? I need to find out what that is. And there you go. New people going to NXT to tune in.
Yep.
But just with Asuka, whenever she comes up, it's crazy because you don't want her to wrestle like Tamina, just because we don't really know what quality of match Tamina can have. One, you don't want Asuka going to Maine having bad matches. But then you don't want her going against the top person in your card and then lose, or just get to this point where she's winning so much that she can't lose.
It's just a weird way for a while, because that'd be fine. It'd help everybody out.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually fine with that. Yeah, let's beat up Bayley. Yeah.
Bayley was beating up some people on Raw, so I mean, she's looking a little better, but. No, I think to get back to the question of is it better to vacate the title, I would say it's a safe thing for Asuka, and that's probably the route that I would go.
Yeah.
I don't 100% like it, but it's probably the smartest thing to do. Other things on NXT, pretty decent tag team match. Definitely go back and watch that. It wasn't bad. There was a squash match, as my boy Puppet would say. Gosh, I love Puppet. I know I'm not.
Boy Puppet?
I call him my boy. You don't know Puppet?
I can tell that's a no.
Yeah. Oh, your life is going to change forever. Yeah. I know this is high risk podcast, and we're not really supposed to talk about the other ones, but Puppet he does a quick 10-minute video every week of why SmackDown, why Raw, why pay-per-view didn't suck, and just gives quick little bullet points. And anyway. There's a women's match on NXT. It's a little bit of a squash, but we introduced a new athlete into the women's division on NXT.
Is it the Sonya Deville girl?
Yeah, Sonya Deville. She faced her and she lost to her via Kimura.
Yeah.
And but this new Rachel, last name starts with an E. I can't remember.
It's not.
Guys, she's kind of a babe. Noah disagrees.
What's her name? I'm gonna have to do some.
Rachel.
It might be Evans.
You are making my life very difficult. Thank you. Rachel Evers?
Yeah, Evers. Yeah, I think that's right.
I think she's a babe.
No.
Scott, she's not your type.
You wouldn't. How would you know? I haven't even. Gracie, how am I supposed to do my research? You're all.
Babe Watch 2017. But no, on from that, it was, like Matt said, a squash match.
Yep.
I'm not impressed with this DeVille girl. I think her gimmick, with Asuka being on, her gimmick is
it doesn't
faulty.
make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's a cheap knockoff. and she's not in the MMA. She's in NXT. So to me, I'm just not a fan of the boxer
Matt,
MMA
I can
gimmick.
see why you found your new babe. I do understand. I do see your points.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. It's a family pie. Even though I've said ass and shit on this episode, I can't. Yeah, it's a
family podcast.
Yep, it's a family show. Anyway, so definitely go check her out, Rachel Evers.
Evers.
Yeah, and then we led up to a pretty.
She has some solid assets that she can bring to the ring. So
she's definitely got some solid assets for the company, and just Anyway, the night of NXT led up to a pretty cool match between Cassius Ohno and.
Don't tell me who wins, even though I already know who won.
Okay. Between Cassius Ohno and Aleister Black, who is we love Aleister Black here. Cassius Ohno, I'm becoming a fan. It's cool to see a guy that doesn't fit the build of the typical WWE superstar go in the ring and do cool stuff.
What are you talking about? Cassius Ohno?
Cassius Ohno. But yeah, just a great match. It's a little slow in some spots. These are two technical guys that are doing very strong style, technical type stuff. So definitely go and check that out. There's a lot of pops.
Known as the knockout artist, I think is how they bill him, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy because we maybe hit on this before, but like when knees or elbows are thrown and there's that pop, we can't see where it's coming from. There's no smack, there's no hiding the hit.
They're good at it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy, and it happens a lot. I mean, it looks like these punches and these kicks and everything. Man, it looks like they hurt a lot.
Strong style is cool when you're watching guys that know how to do it. Speaking of strong style, last little bit on this episode, we're going to breeze right through it. I know we're counting down to the United States tournament. We've been talking about this for the past couple weeks, so if you want to learn some more about that, feel free to go back here on YouTube and check out some of the past episodes that we've done. NJPW, it's a promotion over in Japan. Strong style is what they do. It's a lot of hard hitting. There's some high fly stuff, but it's just a lot of technical, hard hitting stuff. So if you're a big fan of just work within the ring, this is definitely a promotion that you want to check out. You can check it out on Access TV, 7 o'clock on Friday nights, or
NJPW World.
Make sure you tell your bank, because you're going to be doing transactions with Japan. We just got Noah squared away after it was shut down for a couple weeks.
Well, it's crazy because every month you have to call and let them know that Japan is knocking and they want some money. So you gotta always do that every month.
Call your bank tellers, make friends with them, let them know.
Yeah. But no, right now everything is kind of a promotional push for the G1 show in Long Beach.
Yeah.
But there is something. It is Road to Kizuna, I guess is what it is. KIZ.
Sidebar real quick here. I gotta type for my boy Marty Skrull real quick. So
okay,
his original Bullet Club umbrella when he debuted for the Bullet Club at whatever Ring of Honor show it was. It is on eBay and it is currently at 1,850 pounds, like UK pounds, which I believe is a lot of money in American.
Gotcha.
How cool would that be to have that on your wall back there, Scott, next to your Daniel Bryan "Yes We Can" poster?
Oh, real.
How would you put that one on your wall?
I don't know. I'd figure it out though.
Don't doubt me, Noah.
Hey,
So it is right now. It is 1,850 British pounds, which converts to $2,349.
Take out a loan.
Yep. You should payday loan.
Currently 44 bids.
44 bids.
That's it. It's just crazy that I know that we're big fans and it's cool and everything, but I would not pay that much
for an umbrella.
For an umbrella.
I think an umbrella that's broke. Actually, I think he may have broke it unless he fixed it. But
I think he broke it.
Yeah. But no. But they've got some Road 2 shows coming up, which is they are kind of dark matches. If you go to New Japan World to watch them, they have no commentary. It's one camera setup. It's a wide shot. It's very bare bones nothing to it. It's like it's watching a house show essentially. So that, I mean, they still put on good quality matches there, so it's good to watch that. But as far as real story elements, story development, you're probably not gonna see that too much from these Road 2 shows. Now, leading up to said event, I personally don't know anything about it, so I will have to dig into it. But I mean, as I said, right now it's all a big promotional push for the shows in Long Beach. I know that members of the Bullet Club made a paid advertisement for the event, which was very funny to watch. You can find that on the New Japan YouTube channel, or it might be on the Being the Elite YouTube channel as well.
Well, and we will post a link to that in the description down below, and you can also find a link to it on our Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
Elite. Elite. Matt, have you ever watched that on YouTube?
I'm going to now.
Yeah.
Like the first